Valley Fire gave San Diego's emergency assistance groups a chance to see how their new coronavirus protocols worked in action. We wanted to find out what went well and what needs adjustment. ABC 10 News reporter Jared Aarons goes in depth with the Red Cross and the Humane Society to find out what lessons they learned to prepare for the next wildfire.
You have 15 minutes to pack up 10 dogs, 2 kids, cats, everything.
As flames raged across East County and people fled their homes with only what they could cram in their cars, the Red Cross was ready.
It's a whole different world, operating a shelter or making sure people have a roof over their head in a COVID environment. It completely changed our approach.
Regional CEO Sean Mahoney says the Red Cross of San Diego spent months preparing and training for the dual disaster of a wildfire during a pandemic. Their plans to keep people safe from both meant hotels instead of group shelters, grab-and-go or delivery meals, and lots of sanitation and health checks.
What we had to do was meet people at a temporary evacuation point, which is not a shelter, and then determine what their needs were.
The Valley Fire was the first test of those plans. Mahoney says they helped 174 families, 440 people, and served around 4,000 meals. He says the only reason it went as well as it did, the dedication of 107 volunteers, many of whom worked 12 hours a day. But it wasn't perfect. The Labor Day holiday weekend meant a shortage of hotel rooms, and some people without RVs had to sleep in their cars for a night. Mahoney says they know hotels won't always be available, so they have backup plans to open limited group shelters with social distancing. They've already looked into several hundred possible locations.
We planned for this as much as we possibly could, but exercise is just an exercise, and doing the real thing is where you have those real lessons learned.
It wasn't just the Red Cross. The Humane Society also put in new protocols because of the coronavirus. They helped hundreds of animals and say the biggest challenge was limiting contact with owners and making sure their team members followed rules for social distancing and masks.
The more people you interact with, the more likely you are to come in contact with somebody who is transmitting coronavirus. So we have our biggest safety precautions on that side.
With wildfire season only starting, both groups say they'll adjust going forward. But the mission never changes, keeping people safe from a fire or a virus.
The last thing you want to do is lose your property or even just be evacuated and go through all that stress, and then somebody that you know or yourself comes down with coronavirus.
Coming together as a team is what made the whole thing work.
Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.
And want to let you know that ABC 10 News is partnering with the American Red Cross and other ABC stations in the West today for a day of giving to help the thousands of people affected by the devastating wildfires that have been burning in California, Oregon, and Washington. If you'd like to contribute, you can call 866-499-GIVE or go to 10news.com for a link to donate. The county is making sure those impacted by the